Hey guys, hope you're doing well today. I'm coming at you today to talk about financial systems, what they are, how to create them, why you need them. Before I do that, I want to make sure everyone knows who I am. If you don't, shame on me. That's totally my fault. We're going to fix that. But I want to talk to you guys about systems. My name is Jerry. I own WealthX, and so I believe that everybody has the right to create a life by design. Now, many of us don't, and the reason is we spend 40 years to life. I call it the 40 to life sentence, trading time for money, so that we can have a mediocre existence, barely pay the bills, just get by, live paycheck to paycheck. And the reality is, the hard truth is, time and money do need to be exchanged, but it just doesn't need to be your time and it doesn't need to be your money. None of us were taught that. Okay, we were never taught how to make money, we were never taught how to keep money, and we were never taught how to multiply it. And so what I do is I educate, I provide a video for you guys every single day on the topic of wealth. So I want to thank you for joining. If you're just tuning in, go ahead and share, go ahead and like, check out my website, www.wealthxpro.com. I want to see you put live in the comments if you're live, L-I-V-E, but we're talking about systems, okay? So think back to your first money experience. Think back to the first time you were ever taught about finances. For me, it was never a conversation. For me, it was just observing. I would observe my parents, and what I observed was how to fight about money and how to be stressed out all the time. And so that was the habit that I learned. That was what I believed was what you did with money, is you fought over it and you stressed about it. And so as I grew older, I started observing from other people, and eventually people started giving me advice. Now keep in mind, advice means opinion. So it does not mean it's right, it does not mean it's qualified, it just means it's real to the person who's giving it. And so I would have teachers in high school and middle school share their little tidbits about money. The reality was, though, looking back, most of them were broke. Most of them were paycheck to paycheck. And so I probably went till the age of like 18 or 19 before I really started to learn about finances. But even then, it was from Wall Street. Okay, so it was from the casino that wanted me to give everything to them and hand it over to them for the next 4 decades of my life so that they can charge 1% every year and I have all of the downside and potentially no upside. And they've got all the upside and no downside. And so I went probably till I was 23, 24 before, in my opinion, I really started learning the truth about how money works. And what I learned was that the first thing after the education piece is you need to have a system. Now, a system is going to be a tool that keeps you organized. It routes the different particles of your finances from one location to another, and it keeps you focused on the plan. And so I learned a phrase, I think at the age of 19, and this is something that I still use today. It's probably one of the most powerful phrases that I have ever learned. The system runs the thing, and the people run the system. So if you're running a system with your finances, the system should actually operate your finances. You shouldn't be operating in your finances. You should be operating the system. And so there's a few things that happen here, guys. Having a system like that, it keeps things streamlined. Now I'm going to pick on people that I talk to that say, hey, Jerry, I don't budget because it's too hard. Really what's happening is you don't budget because you don't have a system. Okay, this is going to hurt a little bit. You ready? Budgeting is addition and subtraction. We learned that in 2nd grade. So to say I don't budget because it's too hard is to say I have the intelligence level of a 2nd grader or less. And I know that's not true. And so what you're really trying to say is I don't have a system. And so what happens is we have all of our finances. We've got all of these different income streams coming in. We have all of these different expenses going out. We're trying to put money in this account. We're trying to save into this account. We're trying to invest over here. Now that we've invested, we've got capital gains, we've got appreciation, we've got dividends, we've got fees, we've got taxes, and all of these particles are floating around in your life. And if you don't pick one and start organizing, you're going to get overwhelmed and go nowhere. And so a system helps you gather all of those things, organize them, get them set up, get everything in place so that you can make wise financial decisions. So with the system, you need to make sure that it takes into account everything in your financial life. It should not just be investing. Okay, investing is a component. You also need to have saving, you need to have income, you need to have your budget. And just so we're not confused, I did talk about budget, but we all know the budget's not going to get you rich. Okay, the budget is just your responsibility to be conscious of what's coming in and what's going out. But it's not going to make you rich. Saving money, increasing money, multiplying money, those are the only 3 things that are going to build wealth. So your system should incorporate where I'm at today, organizing everything in my financial life. Where am I going? What are my goals? Organizing those out. And then it should route point A to point B. How do I go from here to there? And that's really what your system should do. Now, the other thing that a system does for you is it prevents you from getting distracted. Okay, I did a video on Bitcoin, got lots of positive and negative feedback on it, and I still stay with this stance on Bitcoin. If you were not interested in Bitcoin before it came out, like if you weren't just like, hey, technology is my deal, you shouldn't be investing in Bitcoin. Why? Because it's not part of your system. You have a plan. Your plan is this, and if Bitcoin's not in that plan, don't go mess around with Bitcoin. And I'm not just saying Bitcoin, it could even be real estate. I love real estate. I hope it's part of your plan. But if it's not, don't get distracted over here just because somebody else said it was a good idea. So having a system keeps you focused on where you're going. It's like having a GPS on your iPhone. When you're driving and you say, hey, I'm going to go from here to here, you don't end up all the way over on this destination just because somebody said it was a good idea. You're like, no, I can see the straight path. I can see the little blue line. Siri says it's going to take 45 minutes. Why would I deviate? And so a system does that for you. The last thing that a system does, and this is important, it prevents you from being emotional with your money. Okay? Emotions and money are two of the worst combinations in the entire world. Making emotional decisions. And here's the reality. Your money, when you write your dollar signs out, it has a decimal, not a heart. Okay? It has a decimal. It deals in mathematics and logic. Mathematics and logic do not care about your feelings. So whether you feel right or wrong, it doesn't matter. 2 plus 2 equals 4. No matter what your emotion is, no matter how happy you feel or sad you feel or distraught or scared or, getting upset because you don't think it's the right answer. If it's the right answer, it's the right answer. And so you need to have a system so that you do not get emotional with your money. When you get emotional with your money, you make from the hip, winging it kind of decisions. And those are always the decisions that you look back on and you're like, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, and so the reality is, guys, I want you to have a system. I have a system that I utilize with my clients, and it's called the Wealth Creation Formula. And here's what it does. First things first, it looks at where you want to go, because we're going to start with your future in mind. No matter where you are currently or where you've been with your finances, you have a future, and we're going to plan that out. And that's not just like in the next 12 months. That's going to be 15, 20 years out, your life goal and the intention of what you want to do with your purpose as a human being. It's going to take money to fund that. And so we're going to take your life purpose, convert that into dollar signs, and figure out what we need in passive income to make that happen month by month. Now, once we've gotten those numbers, we can dial it down into daily, weekly, and monthly statistics and metrics that I'm going to track with you and keep you accountable to. Okay? And those are going to be 3 categories: making money, keeping it, and multiplying it. We're going to get metrics for those. Now, once we have that, we're actually going to organize and confront. There's 2 things here, organizing and confronting, and they're both responsibility issues. Organizing your finances involves you looking at them and coming to terms with where you're at. That's the number one reason most people do not start working on their finances, is they're afraid to see what's in there. They know it's messy, they know it's worse than they think, and they just don't want to look because ignorance is bliss. We can't go fix anything if you're not willing to confront your finances. So we're going to confront it together. Yes, it's nasty. Yes, it does not look like it should look, but we're going to take the nasty and we're going to organize it. And we're going to get it neat, tidy, so that we can start tracking progress. Okay, once we've done that, we don't need to keep rubbing our nose in it and focusing on bad decisions we've made. Let's go make good decisions. So I'm going to work with you at that point on implementing the plan. Every 30 days, we're doing a call. In between that, I have you on WealthX University so that you're learning how to increase your income by selling. You're learning about business. You're learning about saving. You're learning about investing. And I can make sure that you're implementing those into your plan. Now, I'm going to help you with investments. I'm going to help you with insurance. I'm going to help you with retirement plans. I'm going to help you with estate plans. And all of those things fit within your system. Okay, this is rampant in the financial services industry. Derek Nelson is watching. He can vouch for me on this. Most people get sold ridiculous crap by people that have letters behind their name and a piece of paper on the wall that says, I'm smart. And so because they don't have a system, they buy the worst possible investments out there. Anything that is retail is a bad idea. If you can go to an Edward Jones or a Merrill Lynch or a Waddell and Reed or whoever and go buy it, it's probably not a good idea. New York Life. Garrett says New York Life. Because the reality is, if they're selling it If they are selling it, it means that they believe your money is worth more than the product. If that wasn't the case, why are they selling it? Why aren't they doing the deal? Okay, so when you have a system, it protects you from those things. It keeps you focused. And so Derek calls it broker in a box. That's exactly what it is. It protects you from the broker in a box, and it makes sure that you're organized. It makes sure you're streamlined. It makes sure that you're on track. If you are ready for a system and a coach, I have a program I want to talk to you guys about. I'm working with clients on getting their 2018 targets lined out in relation to their 15 and 20-year life goals. If you want to participate in that, go to my website, www.wealthxpro.com. Give me a call on my cell, 907-414-5337, or even hit me up on my email, jerry@wealthxpro.com. I'm going to sign out for today. That's the importance of systems, guys. Get organized, get on a plan, and make sure that you're moving the ball forward at all times with your finances. Thank you for watching. Please share this. I will talk to y'all next time.